SOFI update here on the 1st. So I'm going to go over the weekly and monthly on this chart or this video. I'm disregarding everything down to December 22. We obviously know that was from the SPAC. They sold off all SPACs. We made a bottom here. This bottom should not have a chance to be taken out unless there is a market crash. So let's go over the different patterns that this could possibly be. I'm going to go over the least bullish, and this is the one that I've been talking about. So, of course, we got the WXY, like this. So, basically, this would be the same as this right here. This would be A. This would be the falling wedge right here. And we break out and make a C wave like this, up here to maybe 14, 15 bucks like that, and that would be the Y wave. The problem with this one is after this is finished, this is not a bullish pattern at all. If you're long term, excuse me, if you're long term, you want to see a impulse move from the bottom. You don't want to see a corrective move from the bottom. Because after this, we're probably going to correct down here, and then you might make another move higher, but it's just a corrective move. There's a lot of stocks in these kind of patterns though, and they do make gains. It's just you want to see stocks move like Tesla moved or that kind of thing. You want to see explosion. You don't want to see these corrective moves, kind of like value stocks. So I wouldn't prefer this pattern, but it actually looks like this might be more of a likelihood than an impulse move. So this is the first pattern, and I would like to see this hold 640. So this can be an A wave, and this can be a B wave. It could go past 640 and still be a C wave and be an expanded flat, but I think it makes more sense for it to hold 640. If it breaks 640, then you might be looking at something like this. And then this would end up being A, this would end up being B, and then you have to come down here again like that. So if we don't break 640, then this move up to here is more likely. Break 640, you're probably looking at something back up here to the top of wave A. So that's the first pattern that makes a lot of sense. And if I'm looking at this from like this being a wave 1 and this being a wave 2, normally a wave 2 doesn't go past the 0.78 fib. This has gone past the 0.78 fib. So while I want this to be an impulse move, and it could be, this could definitely be that WXY pattern. So the second pattern, the most bullish pattern, is of course a nested move. I don't see this as a diagonal. A diagonal would be, could be, but this is kind of a small fourth wave. I see this as a nested move. This was actually 5 waves. You go down here on the daily. You can see 1, 2, and then 3, 4, and 5. And even this is kind of a diagonal on smaller time frames. Either way, this is a wave 1 in the other pattern that I see. Go back to the weekly. And then we come down here to 640, and then we get an impulse move right here. So this can't be a B wave. So that's the reason that this is either a B wave or a second wave, because it's so corrective, back and forth, back and forth. Declining volume, you look at the volume on the weekly. Besides these spikes right here, we're declining volume now over the last couple of weeks. That means we're getting closer and closer to the end. Get rid of that now. And so again, this is an impulse move. This is a corrective move. As long as it holds 640, this pattern has a chance to play out. This would take us to 50 bucks minimum. That would be wave 1, wave 2. So we'd be making a wave 3 of 3 up here. And this would look like, and then this right here would be wave 3. So the whole thing would look like 1, 2, 3, pull back, and then you'd have another move higher like that. And obviously this would take probably to 2030, I would say. It would take a long time to play out, but that would be the general pattern that I'd be looking at over the long term. Either that or the WXY move. And like I said, 640 is very important at this point since this was an impulse move right here. If you break below 640, then that takes away any chance of this being the start of a nested wave 3. And at that point, it would just make it really weird because this is a corrective move, this is an impulse move, and then this is a corrective move. It would make this more than likely just this. You probably aren't going to go any higher than this area right here if we break 640. It would just be a really funky move, and then that would just mean you have to wait for this, and then that could be the wave 2 over here. So 640 is actually a very important level right there. 640 needs to hold just based on this, like looking at this and breaking it down. As long as 640 holds, we can have a crazy impulse move soon. And if not, we're probably just going to go up here to 9 or 10 bucks and then dump right back down here to 5 bucks. So, and there's a chance we could go lower than we're at now if that happens. So 640 is definitely very important. The chart still looks good as long as we hold 640, which we're doing right now. And yeah, so either a big impulse move or WXY is what I see. And we'll see if we get that soon. We should be coming to a close of this falling wedge here. I'm ready for June to be a breakout month. And we'll see if we actually get it or not. It's really tough with this stock to tell with all the manipulation going on. But that's kind of the sentiment right now is everyone thinks that it's never going to go anywhere. So if we do get a move up here above 8 bucks, I would expect a lot of people to be taking profit. And maybe that's what we need for the stock to go higher. We need retail to start taking profit down here for it to actually run up here. But then again, I always say you probably need to have some swing shares just in case we do go up here and then come back down. With that being said, we're probably going up here to 9 or 10 bucks if we break out of this falling wedge here soon. So that's my breakdown on the higher time frames. Let me know what you think in the comments. Like, subscribe if you're not already. And that is a SOFI update for this weekend. I'll update you next week. Hopefully the market starts going much higher and SOFI can actually run. So that's it. Have a good weekend. Talk to you soon.